The bitch is back.
I don't know if this bitch gonna intro this. I'm back after my 8-week hiatus of everything. It's probably been that long.
I think it's been longer, to be honest, since you've been on the podcast, for sure.
Really? Over 2 months? I mean, yeah.
I think so.
Right.
I mean, there's been a few episodes without you, and I think I've skipped 3 weeks, I think, since you've gone a bit MIA on social media. So it's probably 2 months, maybe a little more, but that's okay. We need it sometimes.
Yeah, well, shout out to Mel for the consistency.
Mm.
She held through me being MIA. No, you did. People loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was good. I feel like I've been dropping my own balls in the last couple weeks. That sounded so funny, dropping my own balls. But it's okay. I feel like I'm learning grace, and that's just part of life, It's not the end of the world, and I hope people can give grace and give themselves grace just as I'm going to give myself grace. And we're here. Welcome back to another week. It's GIVR, and Courtney King is back. I feel like everyone was so scared you were never coming back.
I just feel like everyone just was because we didn't really announce. I didn't say not that you need to announce it, but I'm just gonna be off the grid. It was just a very intuitive decision I made on a random day. I wasn't I'm gonna plan for some time off social media. It was just nope, I just want to be off social media. There was just some shit, which you guys will know in later episodes. It's not even just shit. There was just life stuff. There was just a lot of life stuff happening. So I needed to just take a step back. And
the most interesting thing is that I feel like it's so natural to just do that.
Yeah.
It's so normal and it's so natural, and it doesn't need to be planned or announced or explained.
Yeah.
But in the world we're in today, I find there's a lot of people are used to seeing you consistently on there. So then there ends up being this curiosity.
Yeah.
And our brains always go to the drama.
For sure.
It's always
sure.
Something's wrong. Something's going on. You guys are in a fight, or people were saying that you and Christopher had broken up. And
I saw a lot of that, right, Kelvin? On YouTube, people were like, Chris and Courtney broke up. I have Kelvin here in the podcast.
It's the same thing when it's not to the same level, obviously, but I disappeared for probably over a year at one point, and everyone just was like, what happened to you? And I remember just being like, what do you mean what happened to me? I'm waking up every day. I'm going to bed every night.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not posting doesn't mean that I'm not alive and that life isn't continuing. But people just want it to be juicy, I think.
I know. Yeah, it just was a thing that I needed, guys. I just needed to go offline for a little bit, and I needed to just scale back. So it was
broad strokes. We don't need to know specifically what brought about the break, but what did the break bring to you?
Great question. I think I know. It just was being more present. I feel like we've talked about on this podcast more before, Mel. A lot of my numbing would just go to the phone, just randomly, just scrolling. It's just it was a numbing thing I did, not on TikTok, but on Instagram. And I know TikTok is kind of even more dopamine stimulation.
Do you have TikTok?
I do, but I never use it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that is something that even if you don't struggle with the mindless scrolling, it will suck you in and it will trap you.
For sure. I know a lot of people like that. Just I just spent forever on TikTok. They learn a lot of things, I guess. I had a friend who learned how to clean her house a certain way and organize and but it just sucks you in, right? It kind of picks up on what you like, and it just, the algorithm, whatever. So for me, it was just being so much more mindful of my time and how I spent my time and what I was doing and what I actually wanted to do in my life. What I'm doing. I think it's also because I was coming up on the 30th birthday that I was kind of I don't know, I was just reevaluating a lot of things and just seeing like what's important to me, what matters to me, like asking myself questions about where I see myself and how I want to live life and what friend I want to be and what partner I want to be. And I don't know. I really had to ask myself some hard questions and just kind of chill. And it wasn't like this whole like soul searching, like big thing. I just had to like, just detach, you know?
So what did it consist of? It consisted of you like deleting the app, just not posting on the app. You weren't on the
No,
app, period.
I deleted because for me, it's such a second nature where everyone can go on their phone, boom, boom. You know where your text is, you know where your email is, you know where your Instagram app is, your TikTok app, your shopping app, whatever it is. We kind of just like do it like second nature. So I just deleted like gold off my phone. And you know what's funny? At first, I did that. I'm like, great, I'm not on Instagram. But then you know what I would do? And I'm like, oh my God, these are bad. This is a habit of like needing dopamine, like stimulation. I would then go to fucking YouTube or Pinterest. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's the same thing. I was doing the same thing, but just on a different app. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, and here's the other one. Then I would go on Facebook. I'm looking at shit from like high school, people who are like married, having babies. I'm like, it was actually like, and I'm not saying like I'm a full addict. I can have boundaries with my phone, put it away. I'm not like someone who's like, oh my God, first thing in the morning, phone. But it was a pattern I developed that I did not like. The mindless scrolling. It just wasn't serving me. So I just deleted everything then. Facebook, fucking YouTube, not my Pinterest, but I didn't like really use Pinterest. It was more just like looking at other things like the Facebook, the random YouTube videos, and then it like catches you with the algorithm too.
And why do you think that was like a go-to for you? Was it too much like empty time? Was it too much like what was it?
Maybe in the past it was like I'm bored, so I'm just gonna like not I'm bored, but I'm like, well, I'm like I have a second. I'm sitting, I'm eating. Like I think it just became like I didn't even think. It was just so mindless, like something I did, jump on the app. And then like there were some like things I was going through which made me be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you need to really kind of sit with yourself and just not I wasn't shaming myself, but I just needed to like I needed to just be with me and not numb myself out with random shit. You know, people do it in different ways. They social media, like drinking, whatever like your little numbing thing is, you kind of like I don't think there's anything wrong with evaluating that and being like, does this serve me? And I'm not saying social media is like a bad thing, but how I was using it and like the intention behind it, I feel was just kind of at that point it wasn't really doing anything for me. So.
And now that you're back on it, like how is it different?
I think I'm just a lot more mindful with how I use it. Just, I'm not going to go like scroll. I'm not going to like worry about posting. And I just have less, I don't want to say attachment to it, but I'm just like less phased. Like even today, like I haven't been on Instagram all day. Not once. I just am like, there's just I've learned how to like regulate myself better, I think. You know, when I'm feeling like, oh, I'm bored. It's like, okay, well, be fucking bored for a second. You're eating your food. Why do you need to be on your phone? Just sit there. What do you need to be like stimulated for? So it's like that. I don't know. Does that make sense kind of?
Yeah. How has that like helped you? Like let's say we have someone listening to this right now and they're like, oh wow, every time I have a spare second, I'm on my phone. I'm in line waiting for the grocery or for the bank, whatever. I'm on my phone. I'm eating my breakfast. I'm on my phone. Sometimes people are at a stoplight. They're on their phone. So someone who does that is listening and they're like, oh my God, I do that a lot. Like, how could I feel better if I didn't do that?
I think you just start to like be in your life more. Do you know what I mean? Like you're at the bank, you're driving your car, you're at a stoplight, you are cooking a meal instead of like kind of having something always going or playing like a podcast, or you're looking at Instagram or whatever. You're just like in the moment. You notice things, you pick up on different things. You're not just like, you notice people, and like as crazy as that is, you kind of like are more present with what you're doing. And that, to me, I think it just kind of got to a point where I was like, we spend a lot of time looking at everyone else's life, and there are beautiful things about people's lives, it's great. But I'm just like, what we and everyone listening to this too, like, your life is the life worth living. It's not living through so and so and so and so and so and so. It's your life. So like, get back to like being just in the moment, and just like, that's all we have. I don't know. It, like it just brings a lot more like peace, and you just feel, I also feel a lot more clear-headed, and like I have more energy when I'm not just living on my phone. Way more energy, and you get way more shit done. Like, there are things I could have been doing. Like, remember you told me what Fiona said to you about his Ian's mom? You guys, people are like, who the fuck is that? Oh, she's like, well, there's always something to like do, right? Did she tell me that? Like, there's always something to do in the day, like whatever, like organize something, or take your dog out, or play with your dog, whatever it is. I was just getting way more shit done too.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like day after day, and I think this happens a lot with people that don't have like obligations,
like a 9 to 5, or like
I'm not saying you don't have obligations, but there's no like scheduling, there's no time management necessary.
No schedule.
There's not really someone telling you what to do, when to do it. Over time, if you don't hold yourself accountable to schedules and to meetings and even the smallest thing, like let's say I promised myself at 2:00 I'm going to take my dogs on a walk, but I don't have to do that. Like,
right,
nothing's going to happen if I don't do that.
Right.
If you don't kind of learn how to schedule or how to protect your time, I find you lose a lot of it. And
that is such a valid point. Not to cut you off. That's huge.
Yeah. All of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm turning 30. Or, oh my God, for example, it's October. What the fuck have I done this year? You know what I mean? And I don't think it's just for people that don't have 9 to 5s, because I guarantee you there's probably a lot of people that have 9 to 5s and that they clock in 9, they clock out 5. And then after that, it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing. All of a sudden it's October and it's like, oh, what have I done? Yes, I've made my salary and I've paid my bills, but like, what else have you done? And like, this is your fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's what I'm like hearing in terms of your.
Yeah.
I don't know if it feels like you were just losing so much time and it was maybe making you a bit anxious.
Yes, for sure. And it's like, it just was, because I can create my own schedule and do what I want, and very privileged for that. But I like can go to the gym when I want, or do this when I want, or have to run this errand at whatever time. It creates a lot of time to also fuck off, which is not beneficial. And I feel like a really fulfilling life doesn't come from doing a bunch of shit, but it comes from like holding yourself accountable and doing things that make yourself proud. Like, if you're like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, but if you have all the time in the world to like go to the gym, you're going to make excuses and probably not do it. But if you're like, okay, I have to, go to work at this time, and at this time I can only gym from early morning or late at night, and then I have to go get my grocery shopping in, you balance it better. I feel like you just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the time management. That's a really great point you mentioned.
I think it's really important. It's really important to live in integrity. And by integrity, I mean like you live by your word. You do what you say you're going to do. And that's why honestly I have a really hard time if I like skip a week with podcasts, because like I feel like I'm breaking my word. It makes me feel like I lose sleep. I feel very anxious. And I think if you don't have a job or you don't have a boss or you don't have someone that's like telling you to do something, it's really easy to be like, oh, well, I said I was going to go to the grocery store today, but I can do it tomorrow. And then you just
Yeah.
push it a day. And like that habit of living, it spills over into everything. And for me, it creates a very like some like dysbiosis in my body where I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm just like failing at everything, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. So that was, yeah, it was a very needed, but very eye-opening experience. But honestly, as the weeks kept going on, I wasn't like sitting there like craving, like, oh my God, I need to check. I was like, I feel really fucking good. This is great. This is like a lot of, I feel peaceful. I don't feel like anxious or, oh my God, I need to be on my, like, everyone's like, when are you coming back to social media? And da 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 da. Like, I had my friend Ashley asked me and Kelvin be like, come on, when are you coming? I'm like, no, I don't know. Like, I just was like, when I feel, I don't know. Just like, I don't know. I just felt good. It was really, yeah, it was good. So
Is that the longest time you've taken from it since you started social media?
100% the longest time I've taken off my phone.
Wow.
And I've been on my phone, like having it be my quote unquote job, making money.
You've grown up like that.
Or since I was 18.
Yeah.
18 years old. I'm 30. So
crazy.
It's just been like, that's right when I got Instagram. Granted, at first, that wasn't really like Instagram. That's not how you like made money. I think you could dabble into YouTube and stuff, which I never did at the very beginning. But yeah, that was it. I dropped out of college. Like that's been my life.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So wild times. But how are you, Mel? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was so good.
Let's catch up.
It was so good.
It looked amazing. You deep fried a turkey.
Yeah, Ian deep fried the turkey. No, it's funny listening to you talk because I'm just like obviously reflecting on like my life lately, and it's been almost like, I mean, I guess similar because Ian isn't bodybuilding anymore. So all we're experiencing together is this like vast amount of freedom and this vast amount of time. And he is so like eager to use every single second because I think how you feel like in terms of like the scrolling and the whatever, I feel like that's how he used to feel with his eating and being on such a strict schedule with food. And it was just like the days were just like going by and all he was doing was like eating and then waiting to eat again and all these things. And now that he's retired, all he wants to do is like do things. Like he wants to cook dinners and he wants to go do errands and he wants to renovate the house. He wants to decorate. He wants to be social all the time. And I'm like struggling. I'm like such a, I don't think I'm introverted, but I don't need a lot of like social interaction to feel tapped out.
Yeah, I think there's a word for that. It's like an introvert extrovert. It's something. It's like you're actually an introvert. You can be extroverted, thrive in the most, all the settings, but like truly deep down, like you're an introvert. Like you like your space, your alone time, doing things like by yourself. Like not a bad thing.
No. And I'm not, I don't like staying in the house. It's not that. I just, I'm like a pretty scheduled person. I like to like do my routine. I like to have my schedule. I like to clean when I want to, do my like housework, do the yard work, cook, prep food. Like I'm very, I don't know, an organized freak with my house and my errands and stuff. And like usually the podcasts and stuff like that. And if I have like one social thing a week, I'm good. So like 1 week and that, listen, seeing my girlfriends for like an hour for coffee or like if we go for a walk outside, that doesn't count to me. To me, that's just like part of my day. But I mean like having a dinner with like another couple or hosting our in-laws here or going and getting drinks or going to a movie like once a week, that's enough. I'm good. And Ian's like, let's go every night. And people are asking us to do things. And he's just like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, okay, like I really love you so much, but like I'm not used to this much like planning
Go, go,
and
go, go, go. And
yeah.
just, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also am just working really hard on being present and being happy and not worrying about like silly things like, you know, I would get anxious about like having to have 3 dinners in a row of eating out. I'd be like, oh no, that's too many nights eating out. I won't do it. But like
Yeah.
I'm working on like, no, it's not. Like this is like you can enjoy this and just
Yeah.
be and
Yeah.
like your husband's happy and you're happy and like you're meeting your requirements for everything else. So just like enjoy it. And
Yeah.
it's good and he's just so
It's
happy. So it's making me really happy.
That's awesome. I know I haven't even talked to you about the whole retirement really, like,
Mm-mm,
at all.
mm-mm.
So besides that, like, would there be anything else you're, like, struggling with? Not struggling with him retiring. That's not what I meant. I meant, like, just, like, all the time and the freedom, like, Ian has to, like, live life, you know, like, yeah, you're trying to lean into it, and it's okay, and enjoy and be present, but is there any or has it been great? Like, or has it just been hard, or not hard, but moments of being challenging, or
I had like a breakdown last week and I started crying and I was talking to Christopher about it because it was like he had just come back from Florida
Yeah.
and he wanted to like, I don't even know what he wanted to do. I can't even remember. But I had like a day planned. I was like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then my girlfriend texted me and she needed me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm canceling going to the gym with you and I'm going to go be with her because she
Yeah.
needs me.
Mhm.
And he kind of got upset and he was just like, I just got back from Florida and you're seeing all your friends today. You're not even going to spend time with me. And I started crying because I was like, I'm failing at everything because I'm trying to give him me all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like he's now doing these like sprinter workouts and he wants to do them with me all the time and I want to do them with him too. But I can't be all accessible to my husband at all hours of the day, even though I really want to. And
Yeah.
that kind of day, I felt like I was just being like yanked everywhere. And I was like,
Yeah.
I need to start um, kind of like prioritizing the things that matter and being okay with like boundaries and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
part of that was me like taking a job working at the front desk when like I really should not have done that. Like I'm working at a front desk at Nobility and it's not for the money. It was literally just because I wanted some sort of structure and purpose in my life. And then Ian retired and then I kind of was like, oh, I don't want my time now taken away for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of have to see like reevaluate sometimes in your life where your time is going. And there are going to be things of low priority that maybe you just need to like, I don't know, cut the fat and focus on the things that matter instead of
Yeah.
just kind of spreading yourself too thin over too many things. And then the things
I
that actually matter are not getting enough of you.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I also think it's totally okay for you to be like, obviously you want to spend a lot of time with Ian, but also like needing to do things for Melissa. Like if it's hanging out with a friend or like going to do something for yourself. And I feel like you've always been pretty good at that. Granted, he's been like a bodybuilder, but now that he has all this freedom, still being able to be like, okay, babe, I know you want to do this track workout, but I need to like go do this tonight for me, or can we do this tonight? You know what I mean? Like kind of finding that
Yeah, for sure.
balance.
And I do think what also has happened, and you're right, normally I am very good at like being selfish in a good way. I feel like a lot of my relationships I've almost like swung the pendulum the other way in terms of me putting too much into people that don't reciprocate it. And Ian kind of looked at me at one point and was like, you can't keep like doing 100% of the work or even 80% of the work all the time in your relationships if no one's giving anything back.
Yes.
And I think I've been doing that a little bit too much. And I think it's just part of learning yourself. I think for a little bit, I was too far this way. I was like a bit removed and independent. And now I'm kind of like going this way, and I need to find that like middle ground.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get to a place where I'm like, and I'm never really the person that gets like resentful of other people. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm doing all the effort, you're doing nothing. I start to almost just get really hard on myself, that I'm just like, I don't know. So that's where I am for the last little bit. And I'm just trying to kind of figure out that balance. And communication is so, so important, because you like, sometimes I just have to like look at my friends and be like, am I showing up for you right now? Because I don't feel like we're connected, and maybe it's because I'm trying and I don't feel like you're reciprocating, or I'm trying and you're not seeing the effort. Like, what is it? I need to talk to you about it. And I've been working on that too. So I don't know. I think everything is just such a learning curve, especially when you're like older and becoming just more self-aware and more in tune with relationships and yourself. It's just like, so I find it quite fascinating, but
it is really fascinating. Let me ask you, do you feel like you would have, you know how now you said you're asking your friends like, hey, am I showing up for you? Am I doing this? Like, da 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 da.
Mhm.
Would you have done that like 5 years ago, 4 years ago?
Oh my God,
3?
no.
That's why I was kind of laughing, because I'm like, wow, not laughing at like, oh wow, but like I'm proud, like that's awesome, you're doing that.
No, I would have disappeared. I feel like my girlfriend said to me the other day, she's like, yeah, I just feel like sometimes you get busy and then we just stop talking, and that's just who you are. So that's just normal. And I looked at her and I was like, that is not normal. And I need you to not have that be normal anymore, because that is not how I want our relationship to be. And she was like, yeah, no, you're right. I kind of just don't really talk because I just expect you to like leave and then come back and then leave and then come back. And I'm like, well, I need you to not expect that anymore, because that's not who I want to be for you.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
That's huge. That's amazing, Mel.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
seriously.
No, it's interesting. It's, I feel like nothing is ever, like, not normal. That's the wrong word, but you know what I mean? Like, nothing is ever just like smooth waters for like more than 2 weeks. Cause like something always happens. Like, I don't know.
Especially because I feel like you're a person who wants to like grow and wants to learn about themselves and wants to challenge themselves and wants to maybe rewire things that you necessarily, I don't know, didn't like so much before, or just not even that you didn't like, but just like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like when you're going through that, that's when shit just kind of keeps coming up. But it almost makes it like better, because I bet your friendships are a lot more solid and you feel closer to Ian and certain things and just more in tune with yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
It's tricky. It's a balance, because I think when you're someone that is always wanting to grow and always wanting to be better, it's very easy to like always think that there's something wrong with you. That's something that you're doing wrong. That's something you need to fix. And there are going to be situations in your life where it's not you, it's them. And I think you got to learn how to trust yourself, you know, when you like have to be like, you know what? Like, I've done all I can do. I've recognized myself and how I show up, and maybe what I need to work on, and now I just need to let it go. And that's like, I don't know, it's hard. It's crazy. I'm just thankful that I have a husband that's very. We had people over on Saturday night. Ashley turned 33 on Sunday. So we had like 25, 30 people at our house. And I don't even remember what it was, but he was saying something to someone. And it was like, it was very nice, but how he was communicating was like very firm, very direct. And Ashley was like, oh, don't be mean to me. And I was like, he's not being mean to you. Listen to what he's actually saying to you, because number one, he's telling you he cares about you. Number two, he's telling you something that is so invaluable. You can use this and become better. Like, this is a gift. But
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people talk like that. And I had this moment where I was watching him and I was like, I am so lucky to have you. Like, I would not change a fucking thing. And I'm so, so, so lucky, you know? And
Yeah.
he also is the first person that will like be on my team if he needs to be. If he's like, you've done everything you can, like, you're good. Stop being so hard on yourself. So I'm just like, I'm thankful. And I feel like he's also like sees things so clearly now because he's retired. It's almost like he had this like fog of anxiety and worry. And now that it's lifted, I feel like he has such a clear perspective on a lot of interpersonal relationships in my life. So it's just, I don't know, it's cool. It's fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I feel like even just Ian's demeanor just seems so much lighter.
Oh my
He's
God.
always been like a light, goofy person, you know, since I've known him for the past, 4 going on 5 years. But I just felt like this, like, kind of just a sense of just like not relief, but almost like freeness. Just I'm good. It's done. Like, I
swear to God, before he felt like he was like 50 years old and like life was like at the end and like nothing, you know what I mean? And now that he has this like new chapter, I think he just feels not even younger. He just feels like he's actually his age and that he has so much life like ahead of him to be excited for.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you're 32. You should be feeling like that. Like,
for sure.
It's crazy. How are you? How's Mr. Olympia doing? Is he 4 weeks out or less than 4 weeks?
He's 25 days. So what is that?
3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks.
How's he doing?
Crazy. He's doing good. He there were some hiccups, obviously, but he's back. He's reeled it back in, and I mean, this has been an interesting. Every year, I swear, I'm like, this is been a fucking interesting year. This has been a year, but this has just been a year because I feel like there's been a lot of things he's had to like mitigate, kind of like with the time, like kind of what we were talking about with time and learning how to like where to put his time to do what he needs to do in this moment, and kind of stepping back from things and stepping more into things that are going to better serve him right now in this short season. So I think that's been a little bit of a challenge at the beginning, but he's kind of got his groove now with, work and obligations and traveling and being able to say no and, hey, I can't do this and I got to focus here and do this. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's like he's very like dialed in, and I just feel I don't push too much. Like, we had a conversation. He's like, babe, don't ask me how I'm feeling when we're at the gym. I just need to fucking do what I need to do. Because I'm always like, how are you feeling? What's going? Like, I want to kind of dig, because I want him to open up in case he's like locked or there's something he needs to get out or talk about. But I've just kind of like let him be in his. Obviously, if I feel like something's wrong or something, he needs to talk about something, I'm going to push him. But like, I'm trusting that he knows what he's doing, that he is more than capable, and he's extremely resilient, and he's just going to go do what he needs to do. So
good.
Yeah. It's been good. But as each year has gone on, it's definitely been more of I don't want to say it like a challenge in its own way, but it's just been like, and Chris says this, like more is expected of you. Like, it's just like, oh wait, you need to win again. Like, is there another option? Where like the first 2, it's like, oh, like still kind of like getting the feet wet, like, yes. And then like 3 is like, okay, you're kind of like making grounds. 4 is like, you're pretty established. And I was just like, does that make sense? Kind of like,
I honestly can't imagine. I really can't.
Yeah. I can't fucking imagine. I can't imagine at all. And sometimes I just like, I feel how the fuck can someone handle all of this? Constant videos being made about you, constant things, comments, whatever. But like, I'm not saying he like, it's, he's human. Like, he obviously feels stuff, but honestly, he's pretty like, these are people who are not close to me, so why would I let their shit affect me? It's like, why would I let...
He's very aware of what actually matters,
mhm.
And I think it's really easy to see things, especially if there's a lot and you're bombarded, to be like, oh my God, this affects me. This affects me, because it will evoke a feeling in you. But like, not all feelings are real. And like, for you to be like, okay, I can feel this way, but like, this actually doesn't affect me,
Yeah,
like, this doesn't matter. Sure. You putting this on the internet doesn't change a goddamn thing about my life. And I feel like that's a really like strong mindset to have. And I think he has a lot of trust in himself and his ability to discern what is real and what isn't. And I think that makes him just like be mostly okay through all of it. Mm-hmm. The harder thing for me would be the pressure, The pressure. I wouldn't want this expectation of like excellence to take away from my ability to enjoy and show up. I think that would be a very mentally tough thing to do, especially like, this is like the 5th win, but there's also like a whole other idea of this like legacy of who he is as a person on top of it. Yeah. So it's wild. It's scary.
That is a big thing where it's like, Ian felt this too. And maybe even you felt this. I know I kind of did at the end, where it kind of becomes like, when it's not really like light and fun anymore, when it's like, okay, this is like, boom, you've earned this spot, you're here, you're at the Olympia, whatever, you've earned this title, it almost becomes, it takes the joy out of a lot of it. Because like you said, like, you have this excellence and this, I need to do better. And I know it's like, his whole like, pressure is a privilege. And like, it is like, yes, it's beautiful. It is. And I feel it also is really heavy, and it's a lot to fucking bear sometimes, and a lot is expected,
Yeah.
I can't believe it's here this like fast. It's pretty fucking crazy. Well,
when do you guys leave? In like 2 weeks.
We leave on Halloween, or like the 30th or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane. Insane.
Is Olympia on? When is American Thanksgiving?
No, the Olympia is the 4th, babe. I think American Thanksgiving, this is so bad. I think it's the 24th or it's the 22nd.
Okay.
So it's like sometime after.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Ian's very excited to go.
Oh yeah, Ian's going.
Oh my God. He's just like, he's so excited. He's like, I get to just watch. I'm like, yeah, it's much more
joy.
Fun. Yeah.
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 Oh my God. Like, even when you and I watched last year, I remember like, we kind of like talked for a second, like, do you miss this? Like, oh, sometimes, but like being able to like support Ian and Christopher is also such a gift. And like, honestly, I swear I say this, and I'm not even just bullshitting. It's 1,000 times better. I don't know if you feel that way or felt that way.
I mean, the idea of even doing that anymore to me is just like so far away. I couldn't.
Yes.
I couldn't do it to my body. I couldn't do it. I literally, there's just, it doesn't even seem like the same woman anymore. Like,
yeah,
I even have a hard time like looking at pictures of myself when I used to compete, because I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, it's just so extreme. It's so extreme.
It is. Yeah. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of you. It's a very selfish sport. It's not a bad thing. I mean, being selfish, like we said earlier in this podcast, isn't necessarily bad, but it takes a lot of time away from sometimes just like living. But yeah.
And you're going to Chicago tomorrow.
I'm going to tomorrow. Seeing my fam for like 2 days, and then I have to go to my cousin's wedding back in Florida on Friday, but it's at like the very top of Florida, so it's not anywhere by us.
Oh, I thought the wedding was in Chicago.
No.
Does she live in Florida?
It's my guy cousin. No,
Oh.
him and his wife do not live in Florida. They live in Illinois, but they're getting married in Florida. So I have to I go to Chicago, seeing my fam, literally very quick, going with my mom. We're flying to Florida, the very top of it, and then I fly back.
Where is it in Florida?
It's in Destin. You probably have seen like Rosemary Beach,
Yes.
yeah. It's pretty much like almost Alabama. You're literally on the border.
Okay. Well, are you excited?
Yeah, it's my first I grew up with a lot of cousins, and he's older than me, I think by a year. So and then it was me, and I have 10 cousins. So we were
tight.
Very tight. Yeah, he was we would do everything. When we were little, we were like babies.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's sister's son. So yeah, I'm excited for them. And his wife is amazing. Well, Beyonce, and they have a baby.
Aww.
So yeah, her name's Melina. She's so cute. She'll be there. So yeah.
How old is she?
I think the baby's a year. The baby will be a year in October.
Oh my gosh, so very young. I was gonna say, is she gonna be a flower girl? But I don't think you can at that age.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But she's so cute, so it'll be good. And then it's quick. I'm back on Sunday.
And then is your mom? Are you bringing Poppy to the Olympia?
Yeah,
you are.
I am. Yes.
Okay.
It's in Orlando. I did that one year.
Yeah, you're just driving with her.
Yeah. Yeah. So that will be it. And after that, I come back here. Chris goes to Dubai, Turkey. Are you going to Dubai? No?
I have no idea. I keep asking Ian, I'm like, what's the deal? Do you want me to go? Am I going? He's like, sure, come. And I'm like, are you going to Turkey after? Are you doing your hair? He's thinking about not doing his hair. If he doesn't do his hair, the Audis really want us to go to Bahamas with them. So I would much rather do Bahamas.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to figure it out, but I think we're just going to travel a lot over the next 6 months.
Yeah. Aren't you guys going to go to Australia or planning maybe?
Yeah, we're thinking about going there for 6 weeks.
What? When?
In the winter.
Oh my God, you should. That's their summer.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah, no, I think we're going to do a few snowboard trips. Some here, we'll go to Tremblant, and then I think we'll go out west and see his sister and ski and snowboard Lake Louise and Banff. And then it's a lot easier to fly to Australia or New Zealand from Vancouver, the west side of Canada.
Really?
Yeah. So we're trying to plan that out. And then, we also were going to go to Mexico with Fuad and Ben Chow and his wife. So we just need to sort it all out. I can't do 5 months of Canadian winter. It's too depressing.
No, it's especially because you've lived in Florida now for 2 years, and you it's just I'm from Illinois, so I get it. It's just gray, it's dark, it gets dark by 3:34.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark,
literally. It's 4 o'clock.
That gets hard to deal with. It's you have
even now. It's the beginning of October. I feel at 7 o'clock it's pitch black.
Really?
Yeah, and then when we wake up in the morning at 6, it's pitch black. It's already changing so quickly. So we'll plan a few things to get away, and then I think I'm going to host Christmas this year too. So I'm excited. Mom,
you are?
Yeah, they came down for Thanksgiving, and Mom was like, I'm sure we're doing Christmas here again. And then Ian kind of looked at me, because I'm working at communicating boundaries and whatever with my family. And he kind of looked at me, and he was like, go tell her. And I was like, yes, I would really appreciate if we can do it here. I'm 30, I'm going to be 33. I would like to try it here. The rest of my family is here, so it's a lot easier for me to drive down the street after one dinner to the next, not you know. And the weather was so bad last year when we had to drive. I was just
oh yeah, do you remember that, the car sliding?
Oh my God, you guys! Ian's gonna kill me for saying this, but I thought I thought we were gonna die.
No, we're going down a hill. Melissa and Ian were in a separate car in front.
The
Truck, too.
steepest hill ever, literally.
Driving like fucking, I know you do kilometers, but like 10 miles per hour.
30
Like,
kilometers maybe. We were going so
Like,
slow.
Yes. And you spun out, and there wasn't it by like water? Was there a lake
There
on
was
one
a
side?
lake at the bottom of the hill. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so
And then remember it happened to us after you
Well,
went on the other side?
we spun out, and thank God I think we hit a stop sign, and it kind of broke the speed, and then all of a sudden we're like relaxing, like trying to bring down the heart rate, like the nervous system is like on fucking overdrive, and we look in the rear view, and Christopher just starts spinning out. I'm like, he's gonna hit us. He's literally gonna run into us. And Christopher, like, did he pull the e-brake? He maneuvered the brakes and like
I don't know what he did. I don't know. I just remember being like, we're gonna die. They're at a stop sign right now, like with it, like. So yeah, the weather was bad, but it would be so nice if you could just hop down the street. You're at your mother-in-law's. You have your mom and dad. Like, it's just all
literally.
right there.
And I said to mom and dad, because I think Christmas is on like Monday or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys just whatever day, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday has the best weather forecast. Drive down, and then you can stay here until the weather is good enough for you to drive home.
Yeah.
And we're fine to drive down the street if the weather's bad, but I don't need to drive to like the lake and that. So
no. It's a hike for sure.
I think she agreed, but we'll revisit.
Well, we looked at your story, and Christopher's like, I can't believe this is the 1 year Melissa like convinced my mom to have Thanksgiving, and the food looks like incredible. Like,
I told him I'll do it all again at your guys' new house when I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
Because
yes. That's like
I'm not gonna lie, my food was really fucking good. Like,
it looked amazing. It did. It looked amazing.
I was like, oh, I feel like I like doing this kind of stuff. It was really good.
Yeah.
And Ian did the turkey, the deep fryer, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like trying to cook a turkey in the oven, and it's
with all the sides.
Like, the turkey's in the oven for 6 hours, and then you're expected to like cook everything else at the same time. It's impossible. You need to have 2 ovens. You really would.
Yeah. Yeah, because you need to heat stuff up or cook like all the side dishes,
keep things
whatever.
warm,
it's not just all,
like
no. Yeah, I mean, you killed it though. I saw the spread. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, it was good. I ate so much.
So good.
I ate so much food this weekend. I feel like a swollen cow, but it's fine. Whatever.
Thanksgiving.
And now we're going to We're going to Windsor on Friday, and probably.
Wait, where's Windsor?
Oh, I think I have to cut this out.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
What are we saying?
What else? Yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
I feel like we still have so much to catch up on because, I mean, it's just been a long time, but.
Yeah, I don't really want to get very deep today.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying like for another time.
Yeah.
We'll have like, there's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot.
We also, we'll share in time more details and more about what's been going on for both of us, because I feel like even I was talking to you on the phone the other day, and I was like talking about my health and like the things that have been going on and the struggles. And I was honestly listening to the KK Fit twins on Pursuit of Wellness podcast today. Yeah. It was very trippy. She was speaking, and I actually felt like I was listening to myself. It was very surreal. She was talking, and I was like, is she in my brain? Like, even her saying how she like was thinking about stepping away from Instagram and like getting a job at a Whole Foods bakery because she just like needed to like get away from it. And I was like, that's what I did when I went to work at the pharmacy. Like, I just felt like she was speaking to me, and I was like, how many women go through this, especially girls that, and you don't have to be like big on Instagram. Like, how many girls that are competitors have like 10,000 followers, 30,000 followers that all of a sudden are wrapped up in this like identity life crisis, unsustainable dieting training cycle that it's like, oh, it's really scary to me. It's kind of sad.
It is really sad. It is really sad. And then that becomes your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And then to like change or want to do something different or stepping away from the stage, or even them being like the KK, fit twins who bulk and then shred and everyone knows them for their like little bods and they look amazing. But it's like, okay, well, what if we want to just be like normal for 5 seconds? What if we don't want to bulk or shred? What if we just want to like try to do, which I've seen like them doing, like I think Pilates, or just like doing, what if I just want to do different shit than posting my heavy lifting workout videos? And then that's when people are like, oh my God, they're different. What happened to them? Da 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 da. Then people talk shit. And it's like, people change. People go through things. People evolve. People have to take a step back. Take a step back, and like that's okay, but I get it. It can be really hard, like what you went through, what they went through, even what I went through with leaving competing. It's like your whole identity is wrapped up in this thing, and then it's gone, and then you're like, okay, who am I without this? What does my life look like without this thing that's kind of like controlling me? It's just like hovering above me, and it's always in control, and it's hard. It's a very hard shift. So to break free and kind of redefine what your life looks like or what your training looks like, something as simple as that, or eating, I commend that.
I also think it's so important to like truly understand and truly believe that it's like okay not to know, and it's okay to be figuring it out, and it's okay for that to take time. Like there's no rush, and you're not on anybody else's timeline. And I think the more that you learn to like sit with yourself and, I don't know, try new things and not like them, and then try something else and be okay with that. The more that you do that, it might not be fast or what you think is an appropriate timeline, but you're going to get to where you're supposed to be if you let yourself sit in things. And I don't know, I just don't think you should rush anything or be on anyone else's timeline, or think that you need to have a title to be worthy, or to think that you need to have a career to be worthy. I had someone ask me like what I did for a job, and I kind of change the answer all the time. Like, I don't know what I do. So I just like switch it up a little bit, and
play with it. Like, what do I want to do today?
I think I said like, I take care of my husband mostly. And they kind of looked at me and they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I like take care of the house. I guess I'm a homemaker. And I just like kind of like was smiling, and they were like so awkward. They were like,
that's what you do.
And like, I'm like, I would say, I was like, I would say stay at home mom, but I don't have kids. I just have dogs and a husband, but I take care of that. I run the house. And I was like, so like happy and like proud of it. And they were just like, they didn't know where to put the conversation. The conversation was just like dead, because they were like, oh, sorry. Like, this is amazing. And like, this is the most important thing that I do in my life right now. 100%. No, it doesn't make me the most money. Well, technically it does, because I'm helping him make the money, but like this is very important. And the fact that like maybe you thinking that me going and like being a bank teller is more important than me like fostering my home and my husband's well-being is like very sad to me, like
a lot of people think that.
It's sad.
Which is I've gotten asked that question too. What do you even do? I'm like, well, I don't know.
What do you mean? I
do a lot.
I run my fucking house, bitch. I literally run my house and take care of my husband. I support my husband because he has a lot of shit he needs support.
Which is, it's such an underestimated job where people might like laugh at that, but it actually is. Try to do that. Like run a house, take care of kids, motherhood. Like, no, me and Melissa aren't moms, but it's a very underestimated job.
Well, I've also been practicing, bitch, for the last 5 years. So when it happens, I'm going to be good at it.
You're ready.
I can do 7 loads of laundry a day.
Meals, laundry,
done.
Clean, dogs, schedule, boom, boom, boom. Drive here, do this.
Yeah, that's what we should answer. What do you do? I'm practicing at being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, that's what we should answer.
Until I'm great.
That's our top titles.
Yeah. Practice stay-at-home moms.
It's perfect. I ride with it.
Okay, well, this was fun. I'm glad you're back. I'm sure everyone else is going to be so happy that you're back too.
I'm glad I'm back too, guys. Thank you for accepting me back into the pod world. We will be back with a more consistent basis from me not from Mel.
Well, hopefully
but,
from me. I just took 2 weeks off in a row.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like you said, give yourself some grace. You know, no one's gonna hate you. But I know you, and like,
Yeah, I'm not worried about
like,
people hating me.
I
That's
know,
okay if people are upset, but it's more like I said I would do it and I didn't do it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
apologies, you guys. I really acknowledge, like, I don't like saying that I'm going to do things and not do them. I really don't. But I did it. So now we're moving forward, and
moving forward.
that's that.
We're moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming and listening, and we will see you next time.
We'll see you next week, guys. We're glad to be back. Courtney's here, and we love you guys so much.